Nice.
This has been our mandatory advertisement for Vault-Tec. Buy all of your Vault-Tec stuff.
And
Oh dear.
and
I don't know if I could game with you wearing that.
hang on a second.
Is that your new body?
I've seen weirder shit that people have gamed with. Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Oh my.
There it is. You have to work in the hiss clicks. Your dialogue.
Yes, and have the full on.
Yeah. Very nice.
He has a lot of shit.
And I've got the manual for the original Fallout somewhere as well.
Thank you for the show and tell. I enjoyed it.
Good. And yeah, and a few other bits and pieces for Fallout around the room.
Pulls out a blaster. Ah, it really works.
And that's how Pete got his new body.
Besides the T-shirt, I mean, that I happen to be wearing.
Right. Anyway, welcome to the last episode of Season 4 and Vault-Tec Show and Tell. So, everybody's got their cards, eh, Reds?
No.
New.
Cool.
Nope.
All right, you guys are sitting around inside of the Australian embassy, drinking tea. One of the guards pokes his head in, looks around carefully.
I was going to say, these two haven't actually seen me since the accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he looks at you guys and goes, "You're not Joshua McKay." And he begins to close the door.
I'm not.
He closes the door. His rhino horn gets caught briefly in the door closing, and then he opens again, moves the horn, closes it. Apparently the guards yeah. So you're saying it's somebody new, but you feel like he's your buddy.
Do I know you?
Yes.
He looks like kind of Obed and Joshua McKay's unholy offspring. You remember Obed?
I don't think I remember Obed.
Let me show you a picture of what Obed looked like.
I'm sure you'll remember him when you see the picture.
Really
horrible picture.
Where was Obed from?
MMO land.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. This is the best picture ever. Here's what Obed looked like.
Oh, now I remember Obed.
Uh-huh. Now, I want you to imagine kind of Sherlock Holmes looking, with the hawk nose, dark hair, and him had a kid somehow.
The confidence is overwhelming off of you.
It doesn't look right to you.
So you're just going to keep wearing that?
I thought that gesture for a second, Pete. I thought you were pulling up your shirt.
No, I wouldn't inflict that on people.
Oh man, I'd have given a card for that shit right there.
No.
Kind of thing Obed would do.
I don't know if we're supposed to see all this stuff you've got up on the screen.
I put it back on the regular Roll20 thing.
So I can see Chris, I can see Las Vegas, I can see a MASH area, Route 66, travel scenes, San Angeles Gothic, Soulstone.
I see a tomato truck.
I don't know what's up with your screen. Stop hacking my mind.
Now I can see what I assume is what the Snake Temple had inside it.
God damn it.
Including a Pulsar Doom emblem. Mushroom Circle. Oh, there we go. Back to the proper screen.
Hooray.
Did you just have a vision? I waved my hand over.
I must have.
Hmm.
So yes, I'm Joshua McKay. Unfortunately, when my body was destroyed, Doc got my essence out of the Jewel of Judgment, and he had to put it in a vessel quickly because it was fading away. And Obed, when he pulled it out, it happened to be in the MMO land, and Obed volunteered.
Brave sacrifice.
Yes, unfortunately, I've gained some of his skills, and some of his things sometimes kick in.
Hmm. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
How
But
was
yes,
how was
No, go.
dying?
Not good. I've unfortunately, it's like I've been reset.
Hmm.
I was pretty much like back to as if I was in completely new Dora. So
Ouch, because you were much more powerful than I ever was, Joshua.
yes. So I'm back to a
That stings harder
novice.
for you.
Oh yes, big time. Yeah, so I'm back to a novice. So I don't know virtually no magic at all. I've lost skills. I've gained a couple of really exciting skills like knowing how to make a bong and other really useful stuff. And yes, I am not the man I used to be.
And after he says that, he goes, and he doesn't seem to realize that Obed was the mouth breather. And then after a while, he catches it and closes his mouth with a click, like, nope, I'm reasserting my will. We are not that person.
Yes. I mean, I would love to be able to give Obed his body back and go back to a copy of my own body or something, but yeah, not sure if it's possible.
Okay.
So yes. So you guys have been to the new pattern?
Yes.
Yes. We went to the saloon and walked the pattern.
Lovely. Okay. And you know you can get to the saloon from Clem's?
Yes.
Beautiful. And so you also know how to access the pattern, which is good. Although the issue of the more of us that walk that pattern, the stronger it, well, according to Doc, the stronger it's going to get. Which will mean that the firewall will extend out and the balance between the pattern and the Logris is out of whack.
Yeah, we didn't hear about that before we walked it, so
Yeah, that's all right. You wouldn't have. He hasn't exactly broadcast it. He hasn't exactly been good at telling multiple people about it. So, and it is the most accessible pattern to walk nowadays. So, like Dr. Yang walked it recently because it was easier to get to than going all the way to Amber.
yeah.
So,
Is the one in Amber still there?
yes. Well, I believe so. I assume so. My understanding is that it is, yes, that there is multiple patterns now. Well, there was already, but there is more now, which is part of the reason why things are getting apparently out of whack. So Random basically told Doc Fulton that a new Logris needs to be created to balance things out. But nobody knows how to do that. So
It's a problem.
yes, and none of us, I don't believe anybody is in a state to be able to walk the Logris, and potentially Doc, because he's created a new pattern, it'll be even harder for him than others to walk the Logris or create a new Logris, but we don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's the fucking quest he's on. Yeah, fuck him and his easy shit.
Mm-hmm. So yes, so yes, I don't know how to make trumps anymore. I can still walk shadows, but yes, I can't create trumps anymore.
Yeah, I think we can help you with that.
Let's try to teach you.
Ooh.
So I suppose before we go down this path, was was there anything pressing that the two of you wanted to do? I mean, we should have an idea of what we're going to do with our time.
I had an experiment I wanted to do in Burlington, but that probably won't take long.
Yep.
I just imagine him riding a stationary bike that has electrodes going out to somebody else's testicles for some reason. The guy's like, why are you doing
Science!
Cool.
Okay, so besides that, was there anything else?
I still want to try something with the ice tower or helping peace between the different generations of MMO land.
Mm-hmm.
So Glenn's flying car and some sort of explosive.
So
or his flying car skill. But...
Yes. So there is a flying car currently in MMO land that works. So
there you go. Aren't they nice to have left that for you, Pete?
Yes, that's right. Why they couldn't have dealt with it first, as I would have assumed they would have considered that the most pressing, but
oh, they did some fucking they did one of them smart and they did one of them Conan. So
yes, I'm interested to find out about the other Mildred, as to what happened with that.
Oh, and they did. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. They did leave full permissions for you guys to play with any of the magic items and stuff that they got, because they don't know very much about them. So you're apparently welcome to.
I had a look at the list earlier.
Lots of interesting shit.
So so we need to work out what sort of explosives works and don't work in MMO land, if any explosives that are non-magical, if any of that works in MMO land. Because depending on the nature of that will depend on the best way of taking care of the ice tower, if we decide to do that. Because I don't know where we would get siege engines and people that know how to use them anywhere near it, and how to get them there.
Well, last time we went there, we were able to strap a ballista onto Alex Kinley's back and trump him over there. So that's one way.
Yes. As in we could take it out, take them over in parts and then reassemble them.
Yeah, I think we just strapped the whole thing onto him.
Okay.
But he's Alex Kinley.
Yeah. Yes. So
I don't think any of us are especially good at firing ballistas, so
no,
that would be a problem.
Yes.
Best case scenario for explosives is probably dynamite, and I don't know if that would be enough to level the tower. I mean, it's ice, so probably take chunks out of it.
How have you got any ability with demolition?
I've got professional demolitions.
Okay. Well, you've been in the tower. From your professional opinion, would we be able to, for example, aerial bomb it, or would we need to carefully place charges? Or since you're a professional demolitionist, from your opinion, and because you've seen inside the tower,
Logan?
What sort of tactics do you believe may work?
Give me a demolitions roll to answer his complicated question.
Oh, I'm going to think about this one too.
Ooh. All right. Go ahead and...
In between jumping jacks.
I know.
Unfortunately, all that happens in Dana's brain is the Vanilla Ice song begins playing.
Ice Baby.
Dun, 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 dun.
I get so excited thinking that it's under pressure, and it never is.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm surprised that they didn't sue them harder. You know.
I don't know. They got permission to use.
Ah.
And they
Okay,
put that
what-
extra din at the end, so it's a completely different
Yeah, I think
song.
it's something really
Right.
cheesy that they.
What Glenn thinks is there's a number of issues. A, ice towers shouldn't be able to exist, so it should have fallen over on its own. But
That aside,
that leads to magic. So when attempting to demolish a tower that shouldn't be able to exist and is only there due to magic, this gives a lot of fucking variables. The tower, for all you know, could be completely impregnable to anything. You have no idea because you've never actually tested how solid is the ice. Can I chip through it? What do small explosives do? As far as just structurally, if you were to fly over and bomb it, if you got very lucky, because it kind of goes into like a little, so probably hit and maybe roll off. And so if for some reason it hit and stuck, then that would be super. But you just don't know. For all you know, it might go, when it blows up, it might go bloop, bloop, because it's magic. And with magic, anything could happen. There's just too many wild variables. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? I hate you so much. What?
Pretty sure we determined the last time we were there that we'd be able to like mine the ice just with picks or whatever and carry it away.
Yes. Assuming that but nobody actually tried any of that. They never actually hit a wall. So you were making a lot of assumptions. If you make the assumption that you can ice pick the walls, definitely going and placing careful charges is always preferable because you want a nice controlled demolitions thing. But yeah, with magic, there's just so many crazy variables and stuff. I mean, for all you know, the excessive cold also. It's unnaturally cold. It's not like trying to blow up stuff in the Yukon. It's colder than that. That will have an effect on the explosives and stuff. May even cause some unexpected side effects because it's magically cold. If the explosives even work here, nobody has ever bothered to experiment with tech stuff. They just experiment with magic stuff and go, it works, it doesn't work. I know I know how difficult it is to pull off, and that's it. They've never done like detailed experiments, like how far away can I be from something and have it work? Do I have to be touching it to have it work? They've never done these kind of things. So I would say insufficient data, as Holmes is fond of saying. Without bricks or without clay, I could not make bricks or something like that. He likes making bricks, apparently, that you can blow up.
Okay, so we need to do some experimenting to get some data to work out a hypothesis.
No. We don't have to do the ice tower, but
No.
it is.
I just meant if that was something you guys wanted to do, that's the only way I could think about doing it. That wouldn't involve us going in Conan style.
I don't recommend Conaning it.
And no, I have no interest in Conaning it. Is basically, pouring stuff on it or dropping stuff on it from a height, from a flying car or something.
Okay.
And then, like thermite or some sort of napalm or something, and trying to burn it, melt it, or whatever.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is it's a clear goal.
I have actually got a list of things to do, but I don't know how long that will take.
We do, and I don't know, Glenn, if you can type out or just tell him all the things that we have Trump to.
You did give me that information already.
I was typing it from memory that time. I might have forgotten something.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. As far as like the bomb sticking or whatever, it definitely is more of a personal danger, but to trump in to the orb room, leave a little present, and then escape.
So
of course, the last part being the hardest.
Trumping into a location takes 2 minutes. So to escape, it would take 2 minutes. So you would have 2 minutes of somebody concentrating on a trump card.
Yes.
Then
without
be
being
2 minutes
distracted
out.
Before they could leave. So
we can't.
And I'm assuming that's the same for personal cards.
I would assume.
What was that about personal cards?
So I suspect the 2 minutes may be the same as with personal cards, as in, contacting someone with a personal card and pulling them to you type thing. I don't know. I can't recall from the experiments I did with personal cards how long they take, as time seems to have changed with them being firmed up with them. How long does it take with personal cards, Logan?
2 minutes, Turkish.
All right, so location and personal cards is 2 minutes at the basic level.
It's 2 minutes 5 minutes ago.
Somebody got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got Amber Castle, Shermer, Outside the Ice Tower, Bartertown, then Dana, Fiona, Random, Gerard, Julian, and a couple of unknowns.
So you don't have the Australian Embassy or the firewall?
Oh, I do have the Australian Embassy. Sorry.
Good.
I don't have a firewall one.
Okay, that's right. Just in regards
to... Australian Embassy is very popular.
Well, it is a good place to come back to that we know we currently control.
I like that you put the word currently in there.
Everything is fluid.
Right.
Should we go outside and see what's going on around here?
Well, we could. All right, so this is my list of things that I was thinking of doing.
Ooh.
We spend a week, you guys trying to teach me how to do trumps. I try and teach you how to shape change. And I wanted to have a look into demolitions and electricity here.
Bad mojo.
Just the way it brings that up. Everybody drops 2 magic points.
Two magic points.
You are now at a grand total of 2 magic points remaining. Fuck your couch. Yeah.
That's all right. We don't need magic points for trump creation or shape changing.
Shit.
Does anybody want the critical thinking card?
What's that one do?
It's automatic success in evidence analysis.
Well, if we wanted to know more about the ice tower or any other thing.
Yeah.
I've got
if you have more data.
Yeah.
I have ultimate sniper, but I don't know if anybody here uses rifles, and as far as I know, rifles don't work in MMO land anyway. So
is it only rifles?
It just says ×10 range for rifles. If it was ×10's range for any, So So if you want to give me critical thinking, I'll toss that just in case, because I think critical thinking is more likely to come in handy. May not, but. But yes, that was thinking 1 week, do a week of that. Then I wanted to visit a psychic in Santa Claus in Gothic and see if they got any answers to how I may try and get my abilities back. Don't know what I'll get out of that. Wanted to look into the Mercenary Guild to see if it still exists in Gothic, and if it still exists, whether or not being members of the Mercenary Guild, which I believe you two are.
Yeah.
I am. Whether or not that allows us to purchase weapons and bombs, etc. You've got the new ID, so I can cross that off the list. Something else I was thinking about, but I don't know if it's something we'll be able to accomplish today, although it's something we could experiment with, was I was interested in getting some DNA from some of the MMO land people that are doors, that are like that can walk through gates, etc.
Okay.
Well, they are strictly speaking Doras now. They're not Doras that got pulled, that suddenly appeared here like us. But I'm just curious. I wouldn't mind getting samples from actual Doras as well, but just to see how the DNA compares with our DNA, and whether or not it has the weird strands and shows them as being cousins as well, or something, or just standard stuff. As there was a few places in Hong Kong we could get DNA tested, so we can go to a different place to where we got the first lot done that are also discrete. We went to one of the discrete places, but there's other ones in there. Hong Kong's a lovely big place. And that's part of the thing, is whether or not we can get to Hong Kong.
Well, with the flying car and shadow walking, we could probably manage that.
I wouldn't use the flying car to do it because it's a magic flying car, not a technological flying car. I would more consider using your Trump to go to Sherma, traveling to Chicago, jacking a car, then driving to Cyberpunk World, shadow walking to Cyberpunk World, doing it that way, and hoping that we end up in Hong Kong again, because we seem to be pulled there. There seemed to be something that directed us there or pulled there. So, and if we don't end up in Hong Kong, we just drive and shadow walk somewhere else, depending on where it is, if it's somewhere useful or not.
Okay.
Well, the problem you've got with shadow walking is you have to go to, at your level, an area that you've already been to.
That's right.
Have you been to Hong Kong?
Me? Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good. Then you can attempt to get there. All right. We're all taken care of.
I mean, we've been to the same world.
Yes, that was the whole thing. We were shadow working to that world, and we got pulled to Cyberpunk Hong Kong.
Yep.
And hence spent a month plus in the hotel with Freddie attempting to teach us Trump, and then discovering that he could never teach us Trump ever.
Oh, no.
And
Trump has been having a rough time since his untimely death.
Yes. And then I spent several weeks in a wheelchair as well. That was not fun.
Wow.
When shape changing goes wrong.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yes.
What happens when you make yourself 5 extra penises?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. If it was that, I might have been able to do. Well, I was wearing a kilt in the wheelchair because I couldn't get pants on. It was not a fun time, I can tell you.
Wow.
Yes, you can blame Logan's devious, disgusting mind for that. Was my feet? My feet got really large. I had clown feet basically, which meant I could hardly walk around. It was really painful to walk and stuff. So, and then I couldn't pull pants on because my feet were too big, etc. But
you know what they say about men with big feet and big hands.
And it took me a long time to manage to change my feet back to normal.
Big shoes and big gloves.
And one thing is that because shape changing is a higher level ability, because it's linked with the pattern, etc. Although I actually don't think it's a pattern ability; it's something else. Things like your residual image reset doesn't reset it. So, just something to keep in mind as well.
Wow.
Because it's at a higher level power to that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, and the experimenting with dynamite and gunpowder, etc., may be useful in on itself. And you guys there was an experiment you wanted to do in Burlington?
Yes. I wanted to play with the clock.
So what did you want to try and do?
Well, first I need to establish if when we hop around from zone to zone, realm to realm, it's the same time of day.
Yeah. Good. I actually been thinking about trying to work that out. Good thinking. I keep forgetting about it. I was curious about working out if different zones are working at different time speeds.
It seems like it maintains the same time of day. Maybe some zones work differently. I don't know. But the idea is you can change the time of day in Burlington, then you hop somewhere else and it's that time.
Yeah, that is that zone. That's the time. Yeah, is that zone 5 minutes past or 10 minutes past, or has it advanced as much as Burlington has?
Yes,
interesting.
That is
interesting thoughts. That's
not
very interesting.
the bicycle experiment.
Tell me the bicycle experiment wouldn't have been
because
fun,
there's
though.
also we could potentially there's the pylon in Land of the Lost that also advances and so advances time.
Oh yeah.
So, and I did know what the gem combination was for that to advance time.
Neat.
Because we needed to do that to get the moons to align to cause the fourth pylon to open up, which acts as a gate.
Plus, you guys have the strangest suspicion feeling thing that anything you're wanting to get resolved should probably be resolved very, very soon, because it may be a bit before you're able to get back to it.
Yes.
And also, just to add to your other stuff, the elf kids have been on vacation for quite some time now, and nobody's checked in on them or anything.
Yeah, well, I was hoping the people that had the ability to move them would actually see if they could bring them back.
Yeah.
Since they were the ones that took them there in the first place. Which was one of the things I was going to ask you too, whether or not you've gained the ability to shadow walk larger groups or not.
No.
Or create or change where gates go.
Nope.
The PCs are like capricious, forgetful gods. It's like, we'll move you to a different realm of existence, and then we'll forget about you for 8 months. I think that's a good description of the PCs. But I was painting.
Yes, it's all right.
We've been starving to death here.
And I was thinking I should put a note on the board saying to them to check on them and see if they want to come back and forth. No, they'll do. You know, if they want to come back, if they're in MMO, no, they'll be told anyway and stuff. But no, I should have done what I thought to do in the first place.
You were expecting them to fucking remember that?
Yes.
They don't even remember. They don't remember other things that they consider important to them. They look for alcohol, and that's pretty much it.
Well, that's Mildred.
Wow. The heirs keep her boozed up because they know what happens if they don't.
She gets even more bored and destroys things.
All
right. So, did we want to, as I was saying, do a week, unless there's something pressing, which there doesn't appear to be, do a week of you guys trying to teach me how to trump, and I try and teach you how to shape change.
Rather than a week, I'd recommend even number of days, since it takes 2 days just to get an attempt.
And 8 days then.
I thought I'd mention. Otherwise, the 7th day would be.
Yeah, I was going to double check with you about that in regards to if it did require the whole 2 days for the teaching how to trump.
Yep, it's a.
And in relation to that, do I have to be there for the entire 2 days?
Yep,
that's right.
You know you like it.
Well, we can take it 2 days at a time.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Do we want to be in MMO land in case there's more troubles. And we can look out the window and be like, oh yeah, their ice torque people have really ramped up.
No.
You guys are like a comedy duo. I love it. There you go.
Do not want to get interrupted by deadly attacking people.
Or somebody that's lost their pigs and wants us to help them find them. Which
MMO
is more
land's
likely
always got shit
which
going
is
on.
more likely what's gonna happen.
Well, aren't there still like
or somebody that wants us to breed with them to increase the gene pool, or all the other things that keep interrupting us whenever we try and do stuff there.
I hear you, but that does seem to be, at least on my fancy watch, a thing that needs to be kept the eye out is the ice tower and also the kind of class clash.
I thought you were going to say the breeding thing. I was like,
I mean, we could go there and see. I mean, what are your thoughts in how we could deal with the whole immortals versus the Doras versus the people that aren't Doras thing, besides having the Doras move away, relocate somewhere else?
That's the biggest one of that they can't really move away. Is the easiest of keep starting more towns. You get to be the founders of a bunch of places. Yay!
Yeah, I know Darius was talking about that, them going off to a village somewhere else. And...
yeah. If they really want to coexist, then they need to not be the leaders, because these other little mayflies, they need to have some sort of control.
Yeah, they need to believe they've got some control over their own destinies as such.
Yeah. So can't.
I wouldn't mind going to get the lay of the land. We don't really have much experience in MMO, but I don't think we should go there to do our Trump training or whatever.
Or did you want to go there, check on things first, and then if things are urgent, we then look into it. If things aren't urgent, we can come back here and do our training. Would that suit Dana?
Yes, that'd be if everyone's dead over there.
Well, problem solved. Right, let's come back. No,
it changes some of our thoughts.
Yes, if everyone's dead over there, that would not be good.
Awkward.
We just back into the Trump.
Do you guys have a Trump for the player house for our residents there, or it's a Clem's job?
I'd have to go to Clem's.
No worries.
Thinking 2 different settlements might not be a good idea. They'd probably end up going to war.
Maybe, maybe not. Depends on...
It depends if the ones with the special abilities are jerks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which they may be.
Well, it's a mix of MMO players. Some are going to be jerks, some are not. I think most of the jerks have been killed multiple times and are less likely to be jerks because they're either dead now, or they've decided it hurts to die multiple times, so they don't want to be jerks anymore.
Need to start a PvP arena. Maybe they already have one.
They have one.
I was going to say, yeah, they do have one, don't they? They've got a blood dome.
Brought to you by Alex Kinley. Alex Kinley is the most capricious of their deities there.
He is very much that.
All right. Do we poke our head in first, or do we just stay here and start painting?
Well, just so that you're comfortable and satisfied that things aren't burning down. We'll poke our head there first and just make sure everything's okay and not in need of immediate attention. we get geared up and we head to Clem's.
No problem. As you're going through the streets, people are looking at you like, oh, hello, Australians. They look confused, like, kind of resembles the ambassador, but he's clearly not. And you guys go through the streets. How are you dressed? Are you guys armored up and shit, or wearing fine frock tails and stuff, or what?
I have a bow, a quiver of arrows. I will be wearing my dragon skin duster.
You definitely are having a unique look going, although you do hear some muttering from some people about knife ear weapons and stuff.
That what?
Knife ear weapons. It's apparently
Knife ear weapon.
Yeah.
No idea what you mean by that.
Dark muttering occasionally when they look at your bow. Although you do get some compliments on your jacket. It looks just like the ambassador. Must be a fashion thing. I gotta get me one.
Gotta find a dragon to kill first.
Leather armor and trench coat.
With the light blue cape fluttering out.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't there some other piece of weird gear that you have?
And a fedora.
Wasn't there something pink also?
Pink?
I'm trying to remember. I thought you had some other weird piece of gear.
His ice scythe.
That's right. Are you carrying that around?
That's in my magical pocket.
Okay, good. All right. And what's Dana wearing?
She has some leather armor underneath her regular workout clothes.
Your workout clothes are like stretched. It looks like somebody made armor out of workout clothes. I mean, they're just hideously stretched. Now, if you wear the workout clothes without leather armor, you have a new dress, basically, just with the shirt. Because I've worn leather armor before, and it sticks out and does unnatural positions and stuff compared to a t-shirt. So it's definitely a unique look, but they don't really say much about that. You guys are all pretty much standing out dressed as freaks of the highest caliber, but they greet you as Australians and whatnot, and you guys head over to Clem's, and Otter Clem is waiting there for you, and he says, "Howdy, what can I do you for?"
Shave, please, Clem.
Hot towel?
Yes, thank you.
Where are you going back to?
Kinleyville, please.
Them as well?
Yep.
Yes, please.
Right. Hot towels are applied, and when they're taken off, you see the guards. Some are facing. What?
I said I forgot to check something.
Of course. Some are facing in toward the barber shop as normal. Others are facing out. You hear it sounds like a klaxon in the distance and see smoke rising from the city of Kinleyville.
All right.
Please. Oh, it's you guys.
Yep.
Thank God.
Interesting.
To sort this out.
Shave, please, Clem. Quick, hurry. Hey, we came to so Dana could see. We didn't say we were going to stick around and deal with it.
Are you like slapping the towel back over my face
That's
before
right.
I wake
That's
up?
right. Yeah. Just stay there. It's all right.
Get out of there.
I'm like, what? Is that how are things?
Nah, all right. What's going on?
All right, you get let out through the stuff, and one of the guards says, thank goodness the stalwarts are here. The numbers of the ice bastards keep growing. They're up to over 50 now, maybe more.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Expression on Scott's face. It's like, damn it.
So how'd you guys get your talks off anyway?
Watch the pattern.
Ah.
We went to the null magic zone and we were able to just take them off.
Yep.
Then after walking the pattern, we just smashed them with a hammer.
Sounds good.
Oh, if only you could smash up some of this stuff. They're really causing trouble and whatnot. I think they're trying to take over the city. There's been numerous fights and whatnot, but they keep getting driven off. The worst thing is nobody can tell who they are after they get driven off because nobody can see their torques. It could be anyone. He looks
Don't you
suspiciously
have
around.
like? So then they like other people are just coming back, like through the woods, without ice masks, or like are people missing from your village?
No, it's in the city. It's in the city. We've got.
Oh, they're doing attacks within the city and then disappearing in amongst the crowd or whatever.
Yes.
Somebody said they don't die if you kill them. Is that true?
Like respawn, maybe.
They just disappear if you kill them. I don't know where they go to.
Does fire cause more damage or less damage to people with torques?
I don't know, says the guard.
Do
you think we should use it?
Get through their armor.
Oh, I'm just thinking you tie down people in a chair, you get some of their blood in a petri dish, you heat up a bit of metal, you touch it to the blood. And
Yes, he says.
But the blood is no longer maybe being affected by the torque.
Oh, okay. So that may not reveal that they're...
Now, if you do it just intravenously...
The guards are just astounded. Yes.
Give everyone a good shaking.
Yes, sir. Darius,
will help either.
His wife should be at the remains of the palace, sir.
Okay.
Are you related to? You look vaguely familiar.
I get that. I get that a lot.
Oh, all right. Just one of those faces, I guess. He looks at you. You're all like, hey. And he's like, huh.
How about now?
Are you related to Obed? He says. You're like.
Why did I have to crit on that?
I thought you were doing a shapeshift, and I was like, at last. But no, I was wrong.
No, because that takes minutes to do.
No problem.
Oh, put away the gun show, Joshua.
I can't help it. It happens.
Oh, Joshua.
The gun just went off.
Joshua McKay?
Yeah.
I look over to see if that he wants to say more.
He says yes. The guard goes, oh.
He finally started working out. I'm a great personal trainer.
He looks at your body, which seems to be bulky and a lot of flat lines and stuff from the leather. He's like,
chiseled.
Oh, he says, yes. All right. Well, you know the way, I am sure.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Of course. They go back to guarding all sides.
Do you guys still have magic glasses?
We bought some. We didn't before, but now we do.
How many charges you got?
50.
Beautiful. I have a plan.
Okay.
Holmes has a plan. Holmes has a plan. It shows like women and children begin to come out of the homes going, Holmes has a plan. And they begin doing the thing with the handkerchiefs and such and dancing around in the streets. And it forms into a whole dance ensemble. Holmes has a plan, has a plan, has a plan.
Use the glasses to spot ice torques on the street.
Pretty much. But
and then
maybe doing it a bit better than that, as opposed to just wandering around aimlessly, but have them do an audit or do a census or something, and have people gathered in groups. And
well, keep in mind there's a few thousand people here. Other than that,
it might take a day or two to do the census, and and then they go through and say, we know these people live in this street, and these people live in this street, and that'll get a lot of them.
And then mark kill me X's on their forehead? Like, what's the...
Yeah, we could go and get permanent markers. Yeah, yep, that's or spray
like,
paint.
we don't mind the symbols. We just really like art.
You don't want to kill them. They'll just disappear. Do they have a dungeon here?
No, probably not. But that's going to be the next. I was thinking, let's talk to Darius and about it. Darius and Claire about it. Because if we can at least identify who they are, then we can work out, well, what do we want to do about it?
What the ice orb. That's what we do.
Not so much what
we don't have to figure out nobody.
Not so much what do we want to do about it, what do they want to do about it, since it's their problem.
Oh, I see you over there. Very fastidious.
I mean, whether or not certain members of this group may have caused this problem by bringing the talks back to here in the first place, we won't go into that.
As you guys are standing there consulting,
we are walking to the palace.
The dance ensemble finishes up with everybody in a ring around Holmes going, "Plan," and then they all go back to their normal stuff. See, we knew we'd get a dance routine in this eventually. Brought to you by Bollywood.
I was going to say, it wasn't a Bollywood dance routine. It was more a 1950s.
Yeah, should hop in there.
Yeah. He dances around like a freak for a while. He's like,
they call this the Charleston.
Really? Is that the Charleston? I always thought it looked something different to. It looks very different to what I believed it to look like.
Yeah, the Charleston and dances like that are some of the ones that you can actually really hurt whoever you're dancing with if you fuck it up.
Well, I'm gonna try. Kicking your shins. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks dangerous as shit to me, but okay. They were into it.
All right, yes, we end up at the remains of the palace, I guess.
No problem. It looks as though it's been partially burnt and stuff. Darius and Claire are there along with a lot of guards and whatnot looking really harried, like they've had a rough day for some reason. And Darius is talking to his people, and somebody goes, "Sir, stalwarts are here." And he goes, "Which ones?" Some of the miscellaneous ones. And he goes, and he turns to, and he goes, hello. And he peers at McKay, and he's like, "Joshua?"
Yeah, sort of.
"You're just getting stranger and stranger," he says. Are you starting to... I don't know what's happening.
Neither do I.
Well, there must be more to this body stuff then. Well,
yes,
it appears that you've come just as we are getting ready to come up with our decisions and such. Perhaps you can give us some of your counsel and your friends. He looks like he wants to name them and goes,
Glenn and Dana.
Yes, of course. Glenn and Dana. Yes, I knew that. But yes, their demands are reasonable, but...
So the people with the talks that are doing the terrorist attacks have semi-reasonable demands, do they?
Yes. They want to have votes and democracy, and he looks troubled.
And?
Rights.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, it's been going along so well, and it's difficult mainly because there are grandchildren or great-grandchildren, and we've been just trying to treat it as though they've been having a tantrum, but...
I understand that when things were getting set up, it needed control and direction, but your population has reached a point where you potentially need to look at other forms of governance.
I'm beginning to think that perhaps many of the older ones have outgrown these lands. That makes me sad.
And that's the other thing you need to consider. Do you want to move on to somewhere else? Do you go somewhere else here, or do you go to a completely different world?
I'm not sure. This land has been our home for
2 weeks?
2 years.
No, sorry, 2 years.
2 weeks. He looks at you like you're on crack. Oh,
it was
yes,
a joke.
Humor. Yes, thank you. Claire looks sad. He says,
Sorry.
well...
Obed, parts of Obed keep slipping in. It's...
Ew, says Claire, thinking the wrong thing immediately.
Yes, it is.
Darius looks troubled and he says, well, I can see you have your own problems. We'll figure this out. They've given us their list of demands, nailed them to the palace door, and then set fire to part of the palace to get us to open the door and read them.
And let me guess, the list of demands got burnt because I didn't think it through very well?
No. We're reluctant to change. I guess maybe we've gotten too set in our ways. I feel there's so much we can pass on to the younger generations, but
so what is wrong with what is wrong with democracy and still passing things on? I mean, you could look at things like having a Senate or something as an example. Having representatives from the size of Kinley. I suppose the question is it just going to be Kinleyville, or is it going to be Kinleyville and all the outlying towns?
Yes, exactly. There's so many questions, and many of the people that are trying to do this have never governed before. It's easy to say tear this down, but it's hard to keep things going afterward. They don't have the
and that's the thing. I think people once they have to run things, they may find themselves in for a rude shock as to what's actually involved in the decision making and all that sort of stuff.
But want to give
in some ways they may not know unless they have to deal with it. But there's nothing to say you can't be here to at least advise to help the transition.
I think it's time for us.
Or do you want a clean break?
Yes. Well, I think that it might be best to leave them for a time so that they can discover on their own.
I mean, you at least set things up to get the ball rolling.
No, they would see that as interference. They would see that as we're trying to maintain our power. It may be just time for us to move on. There's only a few hundred of us left, the originals.
Seems like there's a lot of land out there. Why don't these Ice Twerk people just start their own settlement?
That's part of the problem. More work.
No, I think it's more about them. Yeah, that this is where they've lived. This is where they're growing up. So this is where they think they want.
Yes.
This is their town.
Can you suggest a good place for us?
Sorry, what were you going to say, Dana?
Well, I think a very good mission for you founders would be as researchers and librarians, silence, and holders of your experience before you forget. And then possibly you could, be roles as if people wanted to come to study.
Perhaps, but I would like to give them some space, maybe for a year or two.
Yes.
Space to grow on their own.
It would be a good pilgrimage spot over there.
Yes. Well, I don't want to inhabit the same world and start all over. I was wondering if maybe you knew of a new place we could go to live quietly for a while without so much responsibility. He looks at his wife lovingly. Just to be alone for a while. Maybe concentrate on other things.
So you wouldn't be able to get to there.
How long are we talking?
You'd be able to get to there.
A year or two, maybe. I'm not sure.
You'd be able to get to there, but it is inhospitable. It'd be no good for you. All right, so if we go through the places that you would be able to travel to.
Well, just the good ones. We don't want to go somewhere shitty.
No. I was just thinking if we talk about each of the locations, we can then cross it off the list or work out which ones are good, which ones are bad. So you know about Burlington, and you know the pros and cons of Burlington already.
We know Burlington is dull.
As I said, you know the pros and cons of Burlington already.
Yes.
Then you have Beastkin lands.